Hey guys, this is Woody the Unexceptional Gamer, and the first thing I'm going to call out is this video is not about the gameplay. The gameplay is just there for you to have something to look at and hopefully enjoy while I give an update on the podcast and on sharing gamer tags. On the podcast, the new podcast is up. I get it up pretty reliably. Usually late Thursday night, early Friday morning, I have the podcast up. A lot of times I get comments on, "Hey, where's the podcast?" Because this video that I put up to let you guys know about it, I put that up at different times depending. Sometimes I want the video I put up previously to have a little more time so that people get to see it before I replace my most current video with this. Anyway, that's why this is coming up on a Saturday instead of Friday. But the podcast itself gets up pretty reliably on late Thursday, early Friday. This week, my wife is the guest host. She does a really good job, and we talk about all sorts of things. We talk about what it's like to be married to a gamer, and games and things like that. She is a little quiet, of course, when we get into the details of some of the games, but that's to be expected because she's not a hardcore gamer like I am. No sex worker jokes. I know we've been talking for a while about having a prostitute as a guest host on the show, and I still think that'd be a really neat idea, but we haven't managed it yet. But uh, she's not hardened to internet jackasses like somebody with a YouTube channel would be. So people that rip on my wife will be blocked, and if I'm feeling grumpy, I'll talk to my friends and have you blocked from maybe every major YouTube channel, Modern Warfare YouTube channel. So just don't do it. Leave my wife alone, and that's how this goes down. Um, Another thing, there's a late section on the podcast. What happened is after the podcast stopped, I thought I had stopped recording, and then we talked for a little while afterwards, and my wife talks about cats and things. It's pretty funny. Afterwards, when I realized that I had that, and I think at one point I was even like, "Oh, I wish I was still recording," because I thought everyone was being pretty funny. Um, so that I had that extra recording. I talked to Kyle, I talked to Wings. I was like, "Hey, let's include this," and they agreed. It sounds like after the podcast, there's another, I don't know, 15 minutes or so that's up there by accident. And while it was recorded by accident, it was posted on purpose. It was like, oh, I think people will enjoy this stuff at the very end, so I included it. Anyway, kind of cool. I thought you guys would want to know that. I removed old podcasts. So episode one's been gone for a while now, and now episode two is gone too. Those files were really big. They were 250 and 130 megabytes respectively. And because of that, we didn't have space on the hard drive to hold all the new ones. We only get so much space to host the podcast. And the podcasts are about 20 megs, so I think that at any given time we'll probably have about 15 of the most current podcasts up. But episodes 1 and 2 are down now. If you guys see this question in the comment sections, hey, where's episode 1, where's episode 2, and you answer it for me, then I really appreciate you. That is fantastic. When my subscribers answer commonly asked questions on my behalf, then I really appreciate them for doing that. A lot of times I get like, hey, what headset do you use? How do you record calls and things like that? And it's like I wear Astro 840s. I use Call Burner on Skype. If you guys tell other people this, then it really helps me out. So feel free to do that at every chance. I appreciate the guys that do it. The last thing, if you want to hear the podcast, there'll be a link in the description that takes you to the podcast website. Or if you're an iTunes guy, then you can just search for Painkiller already. It works really well. It finds it as the first hit, and subscribe to the podcast. And I find it stays pretty current. It's only a couple minutes or less than an hour after I post it that the thing's available in iTunes. So that works really well if you're an iTunes person. If not, you can play it right on the website or download the MP3 and put it anywhere you want. There's a little gray like download audio MP3 button that will download it for you. So that's the podcast stuff. The Sharing Gamertag update. The website got hacked. So when you write computer programs, usually you don't write it completely from start. There's libraries that you can reuse that solve common problems. And in my case, there was a little JavaScript routine which could read and write and delete from the database. While I disabled it in the UI, it was still there in the library. There's a security vulnerability in code that I reused, not stuff I wrote, but stuff that someone else had written. And so I fixed that, and that vulnerability is plugged. Hopefully, it's the last one, but you never know. And this is just the nature of being on YouTube and the nature of putting information on the web. People are going to hack, and haters are going to hate. So a lot of the records that you guys put in there were deleted. The upside of this is a lot of those records were from before we had the play style in there, the goals. You know, like, hey, I'm looking to pub stomp to win lots of public games. I'm just looking for fun. I'm a no scoper. I'm a game battles guy. Um, Now that information will be on all the records, which I think is kind of cool. But it should be fixed. And another common question I get is, "Hey, I play more than one game. Can you make it so that I can enter, more than one game on my gamer tag?" And my answer to you is, you know what? That's a big pain in the butt for me. Things already written. There's a lot of records in there. If you could just make more than one record, go ahead, put your name on there twice, one for each game that you like to play. That works just as well. So there'll be a link on the description. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about with the sharing gamer tags, I'll give you a link so that you can see the video where I explain it all. So have a good day.